Yes, everybody, here we go again. This is Garfield Waller welcoming you to another episode of Rock the Mic. Uh, Tonight, guys, I should have a guest. He is still traveling. He's still on the road. Should be joining us later. His name is Danza Hyatt. Danza Hyatt is a former Jamaica and West Indies cricketer. Why a cricketer? Well, what happened at Savannah Park last week is what we would call a travesty, a massacre. I don't know if you remember that song way back in the 80s. I can't sing really, but it's cricket, lovely cricket ball, the ball and hit the wicket. This is not cricket. This is not cricket. I hope you remember that. Well, it's like that. It was like that. This certainly wasn't cricket for anybody who loved the game. People may know me as being a great fan of football, but cricket was always my first love. In fact, that named me Garfield. And I remember as a youngster in the 60s going to Carter Park and St. Anne's Bay Oval and Sabina Park and seeing the legends like Charlie Griffiths, Wes Hall. So I go way back in cricket. I mean, I talk a lot about it now, but cricket has always been at the foreground of whatever I do. So, ladies and gentlemen, before we get any further, I'd like you to, hey, go ahead, put something in the chat for me. Let me see if this chat is working. I'd love to find out if everything is okay and copacetic with the chat. So that way we can communicate with each other. And I'm going to ask you guys, don't be afraid to, drop something in. But we have to look at what's happening in West Indies cricket. We have to see what's happening and what can be done. In fact, my my whole thing tonight, my whole thing tonight is where do we go from here? West Indies cricket, where do we go from here? I'm hoping the chat will show up. I'm really hoping the chat shows up. But what's the future of West Indies cricket? Where are we going? Where is it going? Will it be able to survive? Will West Indies cricket be able to survive the onslaught? What's wrong with our batsmen? Can they bat anymore? Hey, the bowlers seem to be doing okay, but hey, I'm very curious about the batting. So let me see if that chat is coming up again. Let me put something in. Testing. Testing. One, two, three. I hope it will pop up. I hope that chat will be popping up here. It seems to be hidden behind. Okay, I think they. Okay, guys. No, if you notice on screen, my backdrop is Sabina Park. Sabina Park, one of the most, I would say, holy, but Sabina Park is precious to us, guys. It's where a lot of legends, it's where a lot of legends have made their names. A lot of legends have made their names on this piece of turf. And we had it all, it was like, I don't know if I could call it blasphemy, but oh my God, man. What happened the other day was, listen, I don't know what to call it. I'm hoping you guys do. But guys, here's the thing. I think I may have to go to a totally black background in order to get this get this chat working. Hold on a minute, guys. Let me see if I can get something here going. By I'm trying to change this background here on this thing. I'm hoping I can get it going here, but I need to change this background because I need this chat to come through. I need that chat to be coming through. Just give me a minute while I do some housekeeping. Housekeeping here is gonna take a little while, but that chat, I need to be able to communicate with you guys. So listen, get a friend. If you know a friend who loves cricket, okay, I think I can see it now. If you have a friend who loves cricket and what happened on the weekend, last weekend was important to him, yes, bring him in. Bring him or her in, guys. So let's go again. West Indies versus Australia, the pink ball test, a historic occasion. a historic occasion and one to which we as our West Indian cricketers should have risen. They should have risen to the challenge of this international experience. A beautiful field. In fact, guys, for a long while, I've never seen Sabina Park looking so good. Sabina Park really looked good. Do you agree with me on that? Sabina Park was looking good. Sabina was, oh, the outfield was remarkable. Sabina Park looked terrific. And our guys made a mockery of it. So, guys, if you're just logging in, let me know. Let me know where you are coming in from. Let me know where you're listening from. If the sound is okay, please let me know that too. But guys, like I said, Savannah Park looked magnificent. Oh my God, it was a gorgeous setting. What disappointed me first was the crowd. The crowd really, I wouldn't call it a crowd, but I was disappointed with the show of support for our cricketers. Granted, we didn't know how they were going to perform for that game, but I thought more people would have been there. In fact, the Australian visitors outnumbered us, and I was very disappointed in that. But let's go down to the cricket. Okay, somebody, Wayne, thank you, Wayne. Thanks for coming in. Wayne, let me know what you thought about that pink ball test. No cursing, please. Just let me know what you thought. Good, Marcy. Thank you. Mhm. Yes, guys. So this was the third test, and West Indies had already lost the first two. So you should expect they were playing from now for pride. Pride is on the line. Here we have lost our first two tests, and now we've come to Jamaica, Sabina Park, home of Michael Holding, Courtney Walsh, Lawrence Rowe, and all these guys, and we are here to save face. We are going to show these Australians that, hey, they may win the series, but West Indies is not going down without a fight. Now, guys, there were some disturbing things. And I saw where after the series, some of the former greats like Clive Lloyd, Brian Lara, and Viv Richards were called to an emergency meeting of what to do about West Indies cricket. How can it be rescued? How can we get this? How can we right the ship? Because right now we are the laughing stock, not just of the Caribbean, the whole cricketing world. Here is a team that used to be feared all over, that used to entertain, and now we can't beat anybody. What is the matter? What is wrong? I have some ideas and opinions of the whole thing. I may not be correct, but I see, first of all, guys, one of the good points, let's deal with the good first. One of the good points I saw was the bowling. Our pacers like Zari, the two Josephs and Seals, very good, very quick, very lively bowlers, and they were moving that ball. They were moving that ball. In fact, I think our pace bowlers got more movement out of that pitch than the Australians. Our pace bowlers got a lot more movement. You could see the ball darting off the pitch at an angle, just really cutting to the offside. Our fielding needs to be improved. The fielding needs to be improved. The running between the wickets in the first innings, there wasn't much to run for in the second innings, but the running between the wickets in the first innings was impressive. These guys took singles very quickly. But the disappointment, first of all, before we even get to the individuals, most Jamaicans are trying to figure out how the heck is this team or was this team selected? How was this team selected? Because I was of the belief that you had a selection committee. That's what I always believed, that you had a group of guys who were on this committee who would sit down and they would say, hey, let's look at the past performances of these players. Let's look at how they performed in regional tournaments and let's make a judgment there. This guy in the regional tournaments made an average of 50 runs. Should we take him or not? Should we consider him as a batsman? Yes or no? And everybody would chip in and give their assessment of the players. Lo and behold, we come to find out that everything is in the hands of one man, coach and selector, Darren Sammy. Is this a dictatorship or what? How do you put everything in one man's hand, knowing what West Indies cricket is all about? How do we do that? Because one, historically, we have had this whole regional thing where everybody tries to pack the team with guys from their area, guys from their island. How can we leave that in the hands of one man? Guys, if you're listening, make a comment, please. If you want to call in, phone number is there, 347-225-4654. It's a free WhatsApp call. Yes, why is Darren Sammy the only guy who is making this call? He decides who plays, he decides who doesn't, who didn't. And it seems like there were some guys in the first and second test who really made some worthwhile performances and were dropped for this test. Why? Like Andy Roberts made a scathing call for the director and everybody up top, those three top guys, to walk. They should resign. They should step down and let capable people take over West Indies cricket. So, guys, I want to hear from you. Don't just sit there quietly, because I know a lot of you are disappointed. In fact, disappointed is the wrong word. I know a lot of you are pissed. And to make matters worse, the one-day international against Australia starts tomorrow. There'll be two one-day internationals. Are we in any shape or form ready to take on Australia? But seriously, I think somebody must have told these players about that saying, get your ducks in a row. And the West Indies team took it literally. 7-man met ducks. No, that sounds like some curry goat match. 7 guys sent back to the pavilion. Ducks, 0, goose egg. How is that possible? Even when we're little boys and we're playing what we call a ball for bat or catch pushing, that don't happen. That doesn't happen. 7 guys going back to the pavilion, ducks. The second innings, West Indies second innings started, first freaking ball. Wicket. Hey, congratulations to Stark and what's his name? Can't remember his name, Boswell. Congratulations are in order for them. But listen, we were not facing Thompson and Lilly. We were not facing Thompson and Lilly. And even though Stark and Boswell are good, listen, they're not Jeff Thompson. I think, in my limited knowledge, one of the problems we had where our bowlers were getting so much movement off the pitch. That ball was swinging so much off the pitch that Australian batsmen didn't even bother to play at it. No, when I look at Stark, his ball wasn't moving that much. It was closer to the bat. And West Indies batsmen stabbed at it, pushed at it, poked at it. From the first over, first innings, our batsmen were on the back foot. We were on the back foot. I didn't see anybody driving, cutting, hooking. It was, oh my God, it was Australia was putting on a freaking clinic. And our guys were learning nothing. There's some things I'm curious about, and I've been talking to a few cricketers. That's why I'm hoping that Mr. Hyatt will get home in time to make an appearance. Now, let me look at the captain, Chase. I don't want to make personal attacks here. No, because Chase has reached a level that few Jamaicans will reach. The man has made the West Indies team. But Chase didn't, in no way, shape, or form, he looked like a captain. He seemed unsure of himself. Even on one occasion when there was it was an appeal for leg before or caught behind, and they were trying to decide should they make an appeal. The man looked lost. The man looked totally out of place, as if he had no idea what to do. Now, I want to ask you guys, When you're playing cricket and say it's the end of the over, normally you see intelligent batsmen meeting in the middle and they're going to have a little talk. They're not talking about, hey, it's a sunny day and blah, 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 what are you going to have for dinner? No. The batsmen are talking about what's happening. Like the non-striker is saying, the guy who just finished getting strike is saying to the other guy, look, the bowler is doing this. He's swinging the ball to the off stump, swinging the ball to the leg side. He's dropping it short. Watch for this. Look out for that. The bowler has set this field and this is what he's doing. Our West Indian guys didn't seem to be having any of those conversations. It didn't seem to be talking about what's going on in the game. Okay, you lost a wicket. No, that guy who leaves the field going back into the pavilion, to the dressing room, he should be going in with a wealth of information, a storehouse of knowledge, telling the other guys who are yet to go out what's happening. He should be telling them what is happening. Even when the outgoing batsman passes the ingoing batsman, say something to him. Give him some information of what's happening out there on the field. He needs it. He needs it. But our guys just seem, okay, one got out, he hurriedly ran into the pavilion, the other comes out, and I am looking, when the camera cuts to Sammy and these other guys, it's like they have not a care in the world. There's no concern on their face. No shame. It's like they're just happy. Yes, Wayne, I think that standard is gone. I have somebody who told me to ask Hyatt a question. Listen, when you put on that maroon outfit and you get that West Indies cap, it should be worn with pride. It should be worn with pride. You have attained a certain standard. If you don't want to maintain that standard, give it up and leave. But there should be a certain amount of pride and whatever that goes into that West Indies. You're a West Indies player. You have made it to the top. Now go represent. And honestly, it didn't seem like that was happening. It didn't seem like that was happening. Now, let me just look at my notes. Now, guys, when it comes to coaching, okay, Darren Sammy is a coach. I'd love to ask, and I'd beg Mr. Hyatt, oh God, I hope he reaches home in time. Listen, training sessions, what are they like? In today's day and age, everybody have a flipping videotape. You can go Google anybody. You should be able to Google all the Australian bowlers, all the Australian batsmen. Before you even meet Stark, you should know what Stark does. Listen, my little knowledge of sports, sportsmen are creatures of habit. If you do sports, you're going to develop certain habits. You should have been watching Starks and the other pace bowlers so much that you could tell, okay, is he coming with a short pitch ball? Is he going to swing this to the offside? Is he going to swing this to the onside? We all have habits. We all have habits. Thank you again, Wayne. The guys don't see that way, brother. It's all about the hype now. Yeah, if you watch, I'm sure if you sit down long enough to watch Stark and these guys, you'll see certain habits which you can pick up, which will give you an insight into what's coming next. But I'd like to ask Darren Sammy, how much time is devoted to film study? How much time? Because I teach high school, and there are certain times when the football team and basketball team per week, they have film study. And they watch the opponents. They know, by the time they meet that opponent on a Friday night, or Friday night football, they know what the opponents are going to do. Oh, the quarterback isn't playing well, everything is on film. When your batsman is out, you should know what ball is he susceptible to. Which ball got him out in the last 4 or 5 innings. Work on him with that. If that, as a coach, if you can't do that, give up the job. Walk. You should know. Oh my God. It's pathetic. I don't even think prep school. In prep school, they make these mistakes. But it's like, nobody cares. Nobody gives a rip. West Indian player drops a catch and he looks at, okay, catch drop. With other teams, you can see when they drop a catch, it's like, oh my God. But our guys, no, it brings me to another thing, guys. Our batsmen, I don't know if they have, it's a lost art batting. Batting is more than 20 minutes. It's like something's going on in the pavilion where they want to run back in there. You go, a batsman come, the opening pair goes in, bat, and before you know it, one is back in the pavilion. It's as if West Indian batsmen now think 20 or 30 is a century. They just have to get off the mark. And it's going to lead me to my next, one of my other questions coming up about, say, this whole T20 one-day cricket, is how it's affecting our test. When it comes to cricket, I'm a purist. I want to see that 5-day battle between batsman and a bowler. I honestly don't like that T20 thing. We're going on this, as we call it, Jamaica Yamlik and blah, blah, blah. That to me is not cricket. I like the battle between a batsman and a bowler. I'd love to see I enjoyed Viv Richards tearing back bowlers to pieces. I enjoyed Lara taking the heart of bowlers and the fielders. I enjoyed like a Larry Gomes was staying there for a long time, holding up one end while his captain scores. I enjoyed to see Andy Roberts and Malcolm Marshall just confusing a batsman until he basically just gives up. But our batsmen don't seem to be able to hold their own at one end. They just go in, they're on the back foot from the first ball, and they nudge at certain balls and they're going to get caught in the slips. Or there's this big gap between bat and pad and they get bowled. We need intelligent batsmen who can build innings. Listen, when that opening pair goes in, the next batsman should know that, look, I'm coming in after lunch or way down tea time. Because I know my two opening batsmen are going to take the shine off that ball. They're going to beat the crap out of that ball. But our batsmen is like they're playing room for rent. They just keep running back to the pavilion. And I guarantee you, if you go back and watch the last 3 or 4 tests they've played, some of these batsmen have fallen to the same delivery over and over and over again. Starks and the other guy didn't even have to move the ball that much. They didn't have to do a lot of movement like our bowlers did. Just pitch good line and length, and the West Indian batsman will quickly surrender his wicket. But let me ask you guys, do you think one-day cricket has messed everything up? One day, that T20? I believe it has. I believe these guys in this one-day T20 format, they just go around and just swing the bat because they're facing some inferior bowling, because the bowlers only have a certain amount of overs to bowl. So at some time they're going to meet some little second-rate, third-rate bowler. They can build up a score off him and they're back in the pavilion. It doesn't call for any stick-to-itiveness or perseverance at the crease. And I believe it has screwed up our test cricket. I believe now guys are just playing cricket just to get a contract in the IPL. I believe that's what it's all about. Hey, honestly, I don't blame them for wanting to make money. They're professionals, they have to eat. I honestly can't blame them for that. If you can get the professional contract in India, yeah, take it. But if you're going, I think we need to have a distinction between the one-day cricketer and the test cricketer. I was talking to some guys who played for Jamaica and another couple who played for West Indies. And they're telling me, basically, a player should be able to play both. If you play test cricket, you should be able to play the other one, and vice versa. Yeah, Wayne, it's all about the money. It's all about the money now. And honestly, I don't blame you for wanting money. Yeah, you should get paid for your endeavors. You should be compensated for your skill. But then don't come now run to test cricket. In fact, if you have that one day mindset, tell the selectors or selector, in this case, Sammy, leave me out of test cricket, please. Let test cricket be for somebody who can apply himself for an hour, two, batting for two, three sessions. That's what we want. But I think this one day thing has, and I don't think it's going to get better. Cricket now is all about the entertainment and the money. It's all in the eyes you can put on the screen. And a lot of people are gravitating to this short format. Yes, it packs the seat, yes, because I am curious tomorrow. I want to see what the turnout will be like at Savannah as compared to the pink ball test. Granted, knowing what Australia did to West Indies, the turnout might not be great, but I think people are more caught up in this short format. I remember the days when I used to leave Fort Murray with my dad 5 o'clock in the morning to Savannah Park. Driving to Kingston, and when you get Savannah Park, the stand's full. And I'm looking at this wonderful venue now that Savannah Park now is. The place is empty, especially the southern stand. Empty, empty, empty. How far have we digressed? Remember, some years ago, Jamaica didn't even get a test. They moved the test from Jamaica because of poor attendance. It may get to that stage again. But if you are in Jamaica at this moment, what do you think is the future of cricket in Jamaica itself? Is cricket on the rise or is cricket dying? And if so, why? I think cricket is dying. In the early 90s, I got a job as sports master of one of the boys' school. I won't say which one. Nearly 2,000 boys. And schools in Kingston, what do they play again? Is it Sunlight Cup? I think it's Sunlight. Sunlight. I think country ones play Head the Cup. I don't remember which is which. But let's say Sunlight Cup. And you had two teams here, guys. One was like under 15 or so, the other one over. And we couldn't really field two teams. Out of nearly 2,000 boys, we couldn't properly field two teams. A lot of the same boys who played the under 15, under 16 had to play on the senior team. Because cricket was basically dead. More boys were interested in playing basketball than doing cricket. Granted, it's an expensive sport. In football and basketball, you just need one ball. You can hang up two milk cartons on a post, which I saw a lot of that when I traveled through Jamaica. You can hang up two hoops up there and you have a basketball game going. You need one thing for football, scrimmage all over the place, four big stone and boom, you're gone. In cricket now, the cost is prohibitive. Not everybody can buy a proper bat. It's expensive. Pads, tips, the guard, it's expensive. It is, and it's going to keep a lot of our kids out of the sport. Another thing, most boys don't see cricket as being exciting, pulling the crowd. The girls ain't interested in watching those darn cricketer. Girls look and watch on the football field or on the basketball court. So I think in that way our cricket has suffered. And we don't have proper administration. Some of these administrators talk a great deal. Some of them can really chat, but the game is in shambles. The game is in shambles. What can we do to rectify this? Can we get something going in from primary school level, going all the way up to high school? And after high school to club level, we need to get back some interests. In fact, if you go around Jamaica right now, a lot of the so-called grounds that are being used for football were once totally cricket field. When I remember as a boy being taken to St. Anne's Bay Oval, that was basically totally cricket. Taken out to Innswood. All these sugar estates had teams that rocked the country. I remember going to Carter Park. Carter Park was where I first saw Wes Hall. And that was just cricket. Later on, football came in and took over everything. And now we're gonna have basketball doing it, if not already so. So our the region, because in the islands the football, the cricket is dying, the whole regional team is gonna suffer. I was reading where one of the former players was saying, look, it's time we divide the region into Eastern Caribbean, Western Caribbean. We have test teams for both. And I remember from the 80s, Barbados that was saying they could go it alone. And in those days, honestly, they could. They could, because they had a majority of guys on the West Indies team, while we were just languishing back. All we had at the time was, who is it? Holding and Dujan, and then later on, Courtney Walsh came on. And then just the other day, we had Chris Gale and so forth. But like right now, I think we have a good cadre of pace bowlers. But the batting needs to improve. But something else, so somebody had said I should ask Mr. Hyatt if he came on, is the criteria used to select our batsmen. What's the criteria? Do we have anybody else who we can send out there to really put the bowlers to the sword, and then we have somebody at the other end who can just hold the wicket? Somebody can just take up time, get that shine off the ball. When will we see another set of openers like Haynes and Greenwich? These two were feared all over. Haynes and Greenwich coming to open a test match. Oh my God, it's hell and powder house. West Indies doesn't strike fear into anybody anymore, because we know by each opening bowler from the other team doing 4 or 5 overs, we know somebody will be back in the pavilion. So we would love to hear, what's the criteria? How do you choose a batsman? Is it going on the personal whims of the selector? Does it have anything to do with the island he's from? Does it have anything to do with how he performed in the regional competition? His high score, hey, he may have made an 80 in the last test. Hey, is he a one-hit wonder? And hey, we've had some one-hit wonders. Do we take them do we take them on the tour? Do we have them wear that maroon cap, signifying that they are a West Indies player? But when it comes to the short version, and not only that, one of my friends said this is another thing you'd like me to ask. Do we have a pool of players? Do we have a pool of players that are available based on their performance in local competitions? Hey, George, welcome. There's only one cricket academy in the entire West Indies. We need one in every island, irrespective of the population. If that cannot be done, we should abandon the test cricket altogether. And that clip I said to George, where that man was saying every cricket pitch in the region should be dug up and we should plant cassava and ganja. Maybe the man has a point. Yeah, academies. Hey, if you go on YouTube and TikTok and see what they are doing in India with these little kids, if you see what they're doing in India with these little kids, starting from some of these 9-year-olds, the batting technique is perfect, near to perfection. I was watching one this evening where this little kid is learning forward defensive and how to sweep the ball to the leg side. And, oh my God, it was fantastic. And I'm sure some of our adult players can't do what some of these kids are doing. But they have these little academies in India and Pakistan where they're turning out these little prodigies. And we're not doing anything. We're not doing anything. We're just hoping something sticks. We're throwing money against the wall and hoping that something sticks. And hoping that out of Guyana or Barbados or the Leewards or Jamaica, some little shining light, some little guy will pop up and we'll say, good, here's the next Lara. Here's the next Holding. Here's the next Richards. But we're not doing anything to help cultivate your talent. Yeah, so one of my friends wants to know, is there a pool of players who we can choose from? The decisions, are they made by a selector, one selector, or a panel of selectors? And we want to know, just like track and field, are the better players making themselves available for selection? If not, is it because of them playing in other leagues like in India, Pakistan, or Bangladesh? Is that the case? We'd love to know. And would like some. That's why oh my God, I was hoping Mr. Hyatt could make it. Because I want to know, are the players choosing IPL or the BPL first over Test cricket? If that's the case, hey, I can't kill a guy for that. But tell us, let us know, let the selectors know. Look, I will be playing in India. I will not be available for said test from this date to that date. Don't pick me. And leave the spot open for somebody who wants to play, for somebody who wants to represent the region, represent his country and make his island and region proud. But this wishy-washy stuff, it can't go on. It can't go on. Can you imagine? Can you imagine in that Australian dressing room after they bundle us out for 27? And Valerians, I remember having physical fights between cricketers and footballers as to who should occupy the field. Yes, that's true as boys, pal. I remember. Yep. Someone play football, someone play cricket. No, nobody wants to play the cricket. Nobody wants to play the cricket. But we have to bring back that love for the game. Let these youngsters see that, hey, football is the other thing. Everybody can't make the football team. So here's an alternative. We got to make the game attractive again. We got to make the game attractive to them. But if players don't want to play the test, let us know. Step aside. Step aside. And like Andy Roberts said, it was very harsh though. He wants those guys at the top to get out the way. Get out the way. Another thing. Listen, in every sport I see, in every sport, the ones who have gone before, the legends have, how should I say it? The legends are responsible for creating interest in the sport. People listen to legends. Granted, some of our Jamaicans won't. Because if I am a young cricketer coming up and I have the chance to sit at the feet of, say, a Michael Holding and a Courtney Walsh, I would sit there and I would learn. But I understand that some of our youngsters, nobody can talk to them. Nobody can talk to them. In the region here, if you could learn from a Curtly Ambrose, oh my God, I'd walk miles just to go hear the man has to say. Mr. Ambrose, Sir Curtly, show me how you do this. Show me how you do that. But our guys feel like, okay, they're making a little money now. They have arrived. Nobody can tell them anything. But those legends of the past, we need them. We need them to impart some knowledge to us. Because there's certain things they know that our guys don't know. In fact, they have forgotten more than some of our guys will ever learn. And some of these legends, listen, our batsmen today can't bat little pace. They can't bat spin either. How about asking Viv? How about, you remember that tour in the 70s when Australia ripped West Indies to pieces down in Australia? And what Viv did when he came back? We had all these little guys in Antigua from 10 yards away throw tennis balls at him so he could get over his fear of the ball. And then when they met Australia again, how him, Fredericks, and these guys beat the crap out of Lilly and Thompson. These old legends have faced faster guys than Stark and that other one. And they would face, Lara and these guys would face them going down the crease to meet them. And we have these Australian paces. I wouldn't call them pace, but to me they're medium pace. Have these West Indian batsmen playing off the back foot like a bunch of cowards. But we need to make use of all these guys who played in the 70s and 80s. And we could name from Derek Murray behind the stumps, Dujan, all of them. Haynes, Lara, you Kraft, we should have these guys imparting this knowledge to them. None of these guys should have to leave and go coach in Australia or England or anywhere like that. These guys we should pay them so they stay here at home and develop our talent. It's pathetic to and what I mean, I've been watching matches in the other region, and when the camera pans around and you see a Derek Morris standing there, use the man. You see a Viv Richard in the stand, you see a Rennie Joe, whatever. Use these guys. These guys have a ton of information. I remember being sportsmaster at one of the corporate area schools, and one of the guys who coached the bowlers on our Sunlight team was none other than Roy Gilchrist, one of the fastest men to ever bowl a ball. When I first went, when I first went there and realized who this man was, oh my God, I almost bowed down to the man. This was the famous Roy Gilchrist, and he spent the time imparting the knowledge to all these youngsters, showing them where to drop the ball, when to drop the ball here, when to give a short pitch, when to give a bouncer. And he was teaching the guys that, hey, the bouncer is not really to hurt the man. Not really to hurt him. Yeah, a little intimidation is in it, but you want him to hook. Keep him uncomfortable. But our batsmen, no matter what ball was bowled, they were so uncomfortably. You could see it in their eyes. You could see it in their reactions as if they're just waiting for the hammer to drop. But guys, each island, I think, has to make use of all the guys who went before. Even if you don't use the ones from your island, hey, let's use Chris Gale or a Lawrence Rowe or Dujan. Hey, Jimmy Adams, you want to send them over to Antigua? Do you want to get the Antiguans come over here or the Guyanese? Switched up. But by the time we are ready to choose our next test team, we should be world beaters. But I hear Bangladesh playing team like Afghanistan. Where Afghanistan find place to make cricket pitch? Ireland now. Come on, man. It's getting to the point where. But any of you guys listen there, Val, can you in the chat? Can you put some ideas? Put forth some ideas. What can we do? Wayne, just put some ideas in the chat for me, please. Mr. Elliott, let's hear something from you because I know you guys have a wealth of information. How can we get this done? Because God help us tomorrow if in the one day we get trashed again. Baltimore, a good point. I don't think legendary players are giving back to the sport. Once they stop playing, we hardly ever hear of them again. I just don't think that they're welcome. I get the idea that they are not welcome back. I don't think it's them not giving back. I don't think the guys today want to hear anything from them. Okay, take a look. It's not just cricket. Take a look at our current state of football. We have guys who went before. Alan Cole is still around. Jumpy Harris, all these guys are still. Use them. Let these guys impart some of the knowledge to the players. Oh, and by the way, I'm so sorry about this. Jamaica lost one of our legendary football players this morning. Bob Campbell of Veer and Santos fame. One of the most lethal strikers we had. Bob passed away this morning, and I say condolences to his family and friends. Bob, rest in peace, my brother. One day we'd meet again on the other side. But guys, back to what I was saying. I don't think it's these guys stepping away. If nobody wants you, nobody is willing to listen to you, there's nothing you can do. I believe our cricket boards for each island should create special positions for these guys. May not be able to pay them the top dollar, but hey. And you know what's funny? When these guys go abroad, they're held in such high esteem. I was watching a video the other day of Clive Lloyd in England, and it's like he said the people following Jesus, and if he comes here to the Caribbean, he's like, okay, but we would run behind and adore a foreigner. It's just like the other day when Messi's team came to Jamaica, and the whole freaking island is cheering for Messi's team instead of cheering for Cavaliers. I don't know why we're like that. I don't know why we're like that. And we made Australia. You people have any idea where Australia is? Australia is the way down the trickle. And the Australian fans outnumbered our supporters in the stands. The Australian fans outnumbered us. No, what? Here's another thing. I would look at that and say, hey, we're not supporting the team. We need to be cheerleaders, really. Do we become cheerleaders first and then the team delivers? Or do you deliver first and then we cheer you on? Which one is it, guys? What do you think? Should we cheer you on first and then the cheers will make you improve, make you deliver on the field, or do you deliver first and then we cheer? Hey, Mr. Scarf, how you doing? Glad to have you here. The West Indies got complacent when they were on top of the cricket world. They didn't create a farm system as if the great players were going to play forever or just keep springing up all over the place. That could be true, Raymond. That could be true because for a while in the 70s, we ruled. We ran a rough shot over everybody else. And it seemed like when it came to the pace, it seemed like as one pace bowler stepped down, another one sprang up. It just seemed that way. Oh my God, Marshall and Robert stepped down and up comes Curtly and Browse and Walsh and Bishop and all these guys. It seemed like we had a conveyor belt turning them out. We never realized or we never believed that the day would come when we're going to have to really start digging deep. And like you said, Raymond, yes, we need that farm system, something that the other countries are now starting to develop. When it starts with the discipline. And I don't know about the other islands, but Jamaica has some youth that just think, think they should listen and learn. It's true. Nobody should tell us anything. You reach a certain level, our players believe they're stars. Nobody. I was hearing of a case where a Jamaican pace bowler some years ago, a young guy coming up, show some talent, and Holding wanted to talk to him. And I get him said, "No, why you're not in front of him?" You're not from Holding. No, can you imagine you getting a chance to learn? I would download all the info Holding has to give. I would just sit there and soak up everything. But like Val was saying, I don't think it's a case of them not showing up. I just don't think we have, made way for them. And it happens in every sport. It happens in every sport. Take a look at track and field. How many greats we have had? Are we using them? Are we using them? No, we don't. We do not. And these guys just might as well stay home. Might as well stay home because you have so much knowledge you can push out to the youngsters. If only they create a post for you, create a position for you, and let you help with the coaching. But there are some people now who have a coaching position and feel that, no, let me guard this with my life. Let me guard this with my life. If you take a look at our track and field situation, how can you produce somebody like Donald Quarry, Seymour Newman, a Merlin Natty, you have a Vilma Charlton, and hey, use these people, man. Don't push. Hey, youngsters have to come in, yes, but that doesn't mean you're going to discard the ones who have been there before. And not only that, another point I have is that most of our sports associations and cricket too, instead of getting past players in, we bring in some business executive who, hey, you may know the business side, but him don't know the cricket. don't know the football. And we see that in every sport. It goes back to the whole stigma where if you do sports, people think you're dumb. But no, I believe these former athletes, former representatives should be used. You bring in some executive he has never held a cricket bat, never kicked a football. Sports teams in general develop players from a youthful age. West Indies didn't do that and now it's hurting them. Yep, I think so, Raymond. We need that farm system. You see, I like that. Trust me, it's so sad we should all be ashamed of what happened in that match the other day. And when it can be worse. It can get worse in a win. Because tomorrow the one day start. Tomorrow is the 20th, and I think there's another one on the 22nd. It could get worse. We just have to hope that players have learned. They have gone back to watch film, and some of our batsmen will make the adjustment. They will. We'll see it tomorrow. We will see it tomorrow. Some people are gonna complain, oh, the pitch was a bowler's pitch, blah 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 blah. I don't give a rip about that. Man, you should be able to bat anywhere. You can bowl on it, you can bat on it. But Wayne, trust me, I'm keeping my fingers on my toes crossed because Australia could rip West Indies a new one come tomorrow and on the 22nd. If we haven't learned from this boy, let them say the corner's dark. And after this, I think, what happens next? We're going to, will the West Indies be going on tour after this? I think they have a tour to do. That's gonna be hell. Because if anybody knows where the next tour is, when and where, could you just drop it in the chat for me, please? Do they go to England or Australia or India, Pakistan? Could you let me know? Because wherever they're going, that team is there salivating, licking their chops. They want to get revenge for what all West Indies did to them in the 70s and 80s. They want to get revenge. It's England still remembers that whitewash. They still remember that whitewash. They would love to repay us in kind. But what the other countries are doing now and developing that talent young is something we should have been doing. I was reading something about an IPL team featuring some 16-year-old who is going to be the next prodigy. Some 16-year-old who's making centuries in the IPL. But they're starting them younger and younger. And it's in every sport. Look at football. Look at that kid from Barcelona. Yamal or whatever his name is. 16, 17. What's our average 16, 17-year-old doing? They're playing corner league. So if West Indies cricket is to improve, we got a lot of work to do. In a way, this beating by Australia could be a blessing in disguise. In a way, guys, honestly, this beating, I wouldn't even call it a beating. That's another word I could use, but I don't want to say. When you say don't follow them like that anymore because we're everyone beating sick right now. And I think they're going to India next. Yes, everybody coming to beat the crap out of us, man. And I don't know. I saw a joke yesterday on well, somebody sent it to me on WhatsApp about this little 7-year-old boy who was in court and the judge is trying to decide who has custody. Judge asked the boy, "You want to go to your mother?" Boy said, "No, my mom beat me too much." "Okay, you want to go live with your dad?" "No, dad beats me too much." "What about your uncle and your aunt?" The boy said, "No, I ain't living with them. They beat me too much." "Okay, we send it to your grandparents." "No, I don't want to go with them. They beat me too much too." So the judge finally said, "Son, who do you want to go live with?" Boy said, "Please, send me go live with the West Indies team because they can't beat nobody." That one was a cruel joke. We're the laughing stock of everybody. But go on YouTube and look at some of the TikTok videos, guys. Go to the cricket videos and you'll see what they're doing in Asia. You'll see what they're doing in, I won't even mention India, Bangladesh. Pakistan, Sri Lanka, and you see how they're developing these young players. I was watching another one from, where was it? Was it Afghanistan? And these guys are, my God, the technique of these youngsters is like go out of this world. And then they're showing, when it comes to bowling, they're showing them how to turn the ball, the off break, the leg break, the googly. They're showing them everything. We don't have that. In Jamaica, unless a boy represent him, school him don't get any formal training. Along with others, and we played could easily make the West Indies team now. Even with even with your little off break. You remember? even even your banking break, off break, you're a wicked off spinner. Yeah. You see that anybody could walk in, could just walk out the West Indies dressing room and say, listen, pad me up, I'm going out there. Because, oh my God, there's no, you watch your opposing bowlers and there's no fear. There is no fear of, hey, this batsman is going to drive me here, drive it there, cut it here. There is, we need to get back to them days, even as recently as Chris Gale. You know that this ball is gonna be, this man is gonna tear the covering of this ball. But we don't have that. Our guys, my God, we leave alone our batsmen in that first innings. They leave alone so many freaking balls. So many balls. That the shine stayed on that ball for a long, long time. Just leave alone. Leave alone. Leave alone. Until you're gonna get caught in the slips. You are gonna get caught nudging at the wrong one. But like I said again, the non-striker should be a source of coaching techniques for the man receiving strike. Tell him, hey man, you're exposing too much of your off stump. Whenever you come forward, you're exposing your leg stump. You're batting too far out of your crease. You're batting too far inside your crease. Yes, no, when so much money is in the game, the man them don't want to play. No, but honestly, Wayne, to tell the truth, you really can't be, you really can't blame them because a lot of our former players went through the game and end up broke. I don't want that. I don't want to see anybody else go through that. So, like I said, if you're going to play India, cricket in India, go on. Leave the other guys who want to develop the game and play the test. All right, you play a test couple of years and then you move on to India, but you, you play three tests and then one claim you're a star and you go down India and you don't know crap, or you go Bangladesh and don't do anything, and then we're going to pick you again for tests, and you come up here and can't bat 5 overs good. I mean, I'd like us to go through. I have to go watch the match again and see how many times we sent the ball flying to that boundary. You remember the days when a batsman hit a ball and it's like nobody moved. When that ball came off Lara's, you pitch on Lara's pad and he send it to the leg side, nobody move, you don't move. When Viv step down and drive it, nobody moves. It don't make no sense to move. Oh my God, I long to see that. I don't see any of our batsmen doing that. I don't see any of our batsmen. But guys, I'm not here to bash, to really bash the West Indies team. We're trying to find ways of, improving this thing. Trust me, we'd all love to see West Indies back on top. And I'll admit, the Jamaican spectator in the sport is one of the hardest set of people to please. We are one of the hardest to please. Yes, when you're up there, we'll cheer you like hell. When you do foolishness, we are going to come at you. So, players, batsmen, I hope over the last couple of days you're watching tapes. You're Raymond, they're lacking technique, have no patience or discipline to occupy the freaking crease. You go out there, those 3 stumps are yours. That territory is yours. That bowler pitches up to you at his own risk. Guard your territory. Not just for 3, 4 overs. And you're going to spend 10 overs and make 3 runs. just develop the discipline and the stick to itiveness to just stay there. Stay there. Stay there. You're breaking down the bowler. He's trying to break, he's trying to do the same thing to you. Once in a while, you have to put him in place. You have to put him in his place, man. You have to make him know that, look, listen, you pitch on the pads, you know where it's going to end up. You pitch too wide outside the arse stump or too short, you know where this is going to end up. You, the batsman is trying to make the bowler is trying his best to make the batsman uncomfortable. The batsman has to do the same. Can you imagine what was going to a bowler's mind when he's coming in, when he has the ball and he has to bowl to Viv or he has to bowl to Lara? Can you imagine the turmoil going on? What do I do? Sometimes I think the only thing left for these bowlers to do was to bowl on their arm. But no, we are, how lowly has the mighty fallen. Way down in the dumps now, guys. Way down in the dumps. I hear a lot of people say, listen, they're not going to even listen to the game. They're not going to even watch the game. I call a friend to ask him, hey, how can I see the game? Which channel? Is it on One Spot Media or whatever? Someone don't ask me nothing. I'm not even watch it. Never watch it. I also know a guy who worked just within 3 minutes of Savannah. Watch him now. And the company gave out free tickets. Not going. And I'm watching in the stand, and there were some guys in green and gold. They say it was the Jamaica youth team. They occupied that section of the stand. And once in a while, the TV camera would focus on them. Man, I'm not even watching the game to this is the Jamaica youth team, Jamaica youth cricket team. And you have a chance to watch your senior team, the West Indies senior team, and Australia. And honestly, the guy's not even watching all them on them phone texting or watching some TikTok crap. What? So where are we to turn from this? What? Like the man on the TV said, dig up all the cricket field and just plant cassava and ganja. Because it don't make sense. Doesn't make sense. There are a few areas in Jamaica where cricket seems to be making a resurgence. I mean, the gentleman, oh my God, I can't remember his name, I spoke to him last year. Gentleman in St. Mary who has totally revamped that whole parachute cricket. And they seem to be making inroads. Stets has always done well in cricket. But I wonder what happens to the guys after they leave high school. I wonder if, like football, they're not to turn to. This match, not intelligent game, and you got to approach these games a higher level. Yeah, this match called for intelligence, man. Not just brute force. Not just brute force. Even in the bowling, some bowlers, like I said, Jamaica, you're fast and foolish. You have to be intelligent. You have to show some thought process. It's a thinking man's game. In fact, every darn sport, it's a thinking man's game. You got to outthink your opponent. And I have another former top class cricketer from Jamaica who was asking, hey, is there anybody working on, say, the mental aspect of our players? Yeah, we have some physical conditioning, them run and you have masseuse and so on. But what about the mental aspect? Is there anybody or any sports psychologist dealing with that? Because we believe it's only swing the bat or chuck the ball in. No, when it comes to sports, that mental acuity has a lot to do with it. How you approach the game. Can you bounce back from a failure? In fact, they say when it comes to sports, most top position players, you need to have a short memory. But I know some of our batsmen, they get bowled for a duck. And as night followed day, I know tomorrow some of them going out there with that thing in their head again. God, I met ducks the last time. afraid to bet ducks again because I won't make the team again. No, yeah, some cases, yeah, you have to have a short memory on some things. Yes, you made a duck the last time, but I need you to remember how did you get out? The ball that bowled you. Not just that ball, how did the bowler set you up? Because in some of these things, it does not by chance, you know. You were set up two, three balls before, maybe even an over before you were really. They set you up for that one that's going to take you. And we need to be able to mentally process all these things and overcome them and develop that mindset that, listen, I am in control. I don't care what the bowler does. I am going to set the pace. I'm going to lay out the conditions. So the mental aspect of the game is crucial. Not just in cricket, in every darn sport. If you see the way they approach sports in other countries where some team even have what we call hypnotists. Because that mental part of the game has to, you know, the player may not be top class physically, but mentally he has to be tough. In a lot of cases, batsmen against bowlers, it's a battle of wills. It's not a battle of the physical, sometimes it's a battle of wills. Not that he's trying to knock you over, you're trying to knock him out of his shoe, but who can impose his will on each other? I'm the batsman. Okay, your best ball, I'm gonna dispatch it to the boundary. That's the thing, that's how you gotta think. And vice versa. If you're the bowler, you gotta think, hey, your best shot, I'm gonna take it away from you. So we need some psychological nurturing for a lot of these guys who, trust me, they don't think that way. They don't think that way. But like I said again, that guy who lost his wicket, when he goes into the pavilion, he should be giving a non-stop report to all the other batsmen who are yet to go on the field. So by the time it's their turn, they know what every bowler is doing. They know what every ball is going to be doing. Will the ball be swinging away? Will it be swinging in? And you know why they should have been doing a lot of that? A bowler like Stark, you don't see him often. Because he's a lefty. And the ball is going to swing in a different way because most right-handers are used to facing right-handers. That lefty in any sport is a total different kettle of fish. So the first man who dismisses, by the time reaching in the pavilion, he should be able to tell you, hey, look out for this, look out for that. He drops it here, this is what's happening. But I can't make my money, nothing like that, go on. As soon as they get inside, I'm sure I could bet money on it, they grab their cell phones. I'm sure that's what's going on. Just grab the cell phone. Look at that youngster, oh my God. Saw on you, was it YouTube, that youngster, I can't remember his name, who Stark was talking to after the match was over. Stark could have hustled inside to his dressing room where they were ready to pour champagne on him, but he stopped outside the field and was counseling that young West Indian cricket. I can't remember his name. And the guy was just here listening like little children before Jesus, was listening, taking in everything. I hope he took in everything. I really hope he did. Because that's a man you can learn from. Yes, Raymond, Viv's confidence and swag. I go back and watch some film of the man walking out to bat. And just the way the man walking out, carrying the bat, chewing his gum, that nonchalant walk. I'm in my living room and I'm nervous for the bowler. But it's just the way you carry yourself. I saw a video of him and he swaggers out onto the field. When we say swagger, I mean swagger out on the field. And first ball, he make a duck and he swagger back inside as if he make a century. And Valley saying, correct me if I'm wrong, but in our heyday, we didn't have any cricket academy. There were so many great players to choose from. A player like Redford Pinnock, so super talented, but couldn't cement himself in the West Indies team. It will turn around, but turn around, but that turnaround taking too long. I want you to turn around like a sports car, not like a tractor trailer. I want to see that turnaround. Yeah, we didn't have that Cricket Academy, and I think we're paying for it now. We're paying for that mistake now. We're just hoping some super talented prodigy just pops up. No, I think Val, in this day and age, we have to make one. We have to go make them. And trust me, India dominating now. I don't think we have seen what India is gonna do yet. Some years down the road, when all those little guys mature, it's gonna all hell is gonna break loose. Well, if you're not watching TikTok, get on it and watch some of those cricket things. And you see the little things, the things these youngsters are doing, or they're honing their skills. One stroke over and over and over. And in fact, we in Jamaica, when we practice, we in the West we practice, we say, practice a stroke until you get it perfect. In other countries, their mentality is practice the stroke until you can't get it wrong. It's two different mentalities here. One says practice this until you perfect it. And the other is practice it until you cannot get it wrong. And if you realize what they're saying, you realize that, hey, these guys are setting up themselves for success way down the road. Another thing we have to look at is, I always used to ask my players in football, I need to know which side are you on. Are you a player who loves to win, or are you a player who hates to lose? Two different mentalities here. People think, yeah, winning. There's some players who just love winning. There's some players who losing. Player who hates losing, go back to basketball and watch somebody like a Michael Jordan. The man don't want to lose. If you don't want to lose, then you're gonna win. But if you just love the winning, hey, that losing is gonna pop in. But the mentality of these guys mentality has to change. Has to change. Hey, making money. I have nothing against that. But I say the West Indies selectors, you need to have a pool of people. Your IPL, your test. This one is IPL, this one is test guy. And no way that IPL player is coming on my test team. Not with that mentality, unless he's a dual threat. Like a Chris Gale, a Lara, Viv, Haynes, a Greenwich. And show me that you can master the thing, man. But guys, we're on this now for 1 hour, 15 minutes. I am thankful for those who participated, those who came in the chat. And I beg you, hey, watch a game tomorrow. Watch it. Listen, it could be a bitter pill to swallow. Some of you, it may set up the blood pressure up some of us. If you're sick, because I talked to a couple of friends and asked them for some ideas, and by the time the man them write one sentence, the man them boiling, hopping, mad, blood pressure spiking. But log in tomorrow, watch a game and see. I'm curious to see if these guys have learned anything. Not just batsmen, the bowlers also. I want to see what the two Josephs and Seals will do. Because I think, yeah, they're moving the ball beautifully, but too much movement. Because when the batsman pushes forward, the ball is nowhere near his back. So there's no way he's going to take an edge and get caught in the slips or wherever. And let's see if they have learned how to deal with Mr. That gentleman who's playing his 400th test. Let's see if they've gotten any ideas, if they tap into anything from some of the older ones. Because right now, if I were a West Indian batsman, I am calling people like, hey, I call Dujon, I call him Viv, I call in all of them. I'm on the phone. What can I do? How do I play him? Here's this left-handed pace bowler coming in. How do I handle him? Should my first movement be on my front foot? Should my first movement be back foot? Should I close that gap between the bat and the pad? The stance is also important. The back lifter, the back. I watch some guys that, oh my God, man, the technique is pathetic. Technique is pathetic. Some of them the backlift too high. Some of the backlift is too slow. Some of the backlift don't line up with the pitch of the ball. Come on, I know you. Like I say, guys, watch a game tomorrow, and the other one. When is it gonna be? Tuesday. And I'm praying that we see some improvement. I'm hoping Darren Sammy can show why he is coach. He has several days to get things correct. That don't mean the Australians sitting down there not going to make adjustments to it. That's what we think. But I always believe in sports. When you lose, I think you learn more than when you win. I think a loss can really focus focus your mind on what's at hand. And if they don't, I'm not saying they have to win. I'd love to see them win, but I need to see. I would love to see some improvement in some aspect of the game. So, guys, thanks for logging in. Garfield Waller logging off from Rock the Mic, and we are really curious on where West Indies cricket is headed. Thank you, guys. Peace out. Have a nice night.